Hey guys, thanks for tuning into Airsoft, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a little review slash comparison between the new Eagle I got, which would be this Eagle 11 right here, and my older Eagle 09. Now this review slash comparison is more focused towards the Eagle 11. I want to give you guys a good look at it, and I'll be shooting it later on in the video. So I just brought the Eagle 09 because I happen to have one. And I thought you guys might appreciate seeing how Eclipse has evolved through the last few years. Thought that'd be a little cool thing to show you the differences in their milling and the differences in the way the guns perform and feel in my hands. Now, at a glance, I thought that the Eagle 11 looked almost identical to the Eagle 09, and I played with the 9 for a while. When I first got the 11, I didn't actually have my 9 with me, so I couldn't compare them while I was getting this gun. So I was just looking at it, and I thought to myself, you know, it's definitely, there's differences, but not severely different, you know what I mean? So that was just my first impression. But then when I got home, after I traded my Lux for this 11, after I got home, I put them next to each other. I realized that the milling is actually quite a bit different, and they've done, you know, a good amount of things that I really like. I really can't say there isn't anything that I don't like about the new 11s. I think they look great. They look sleek. The milling's very aggressive, and the way they perform is fantastic. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But right now, I just want to show some of the aesthetics that are a little bit different. Nothing really to do with performance or anything like that. They just look a little bit different, and it's a nice little, you know, it's a nice difference after shooting the 9 for like a year and change. Got the 11 now. I just like the different look of it, really. So let's just get right into it. Now, on the 11, you've got this nice, you know, you got the new shaft barrel and the new milling. The milling is actually really aggressive on it. I like it a lot. The cuts are deep. They're really easy to see. And it's all around just a lot more aggressive. I can't think of a better word to describe it. And it's a lot more streamlined, too. Everything looks like it flows through the gun from the front to the back. I like that a lot. And obviously, you know, there's a few other little things that are a lot different. The emblems are a lot smaller from the 9s, as you can see. The 9, they got that nice, huge Eagle emblem, which is nice. But I like to see this little smaller badge on the back. I like that. It leaves a lot more room for where they put this aggressive like cut right here. Back here it just looks like a solid piece. Right here it's got that nice cut. Again, just makes it look all around a lot smoother. Just makes it look a lot more, I can't say it enough, aggressive. Also the barrels are a little different. There's 6 porting, I guess, rows you could say on this new barrel kit. The old one had 3. There's now 6. They're like little. There's like 2 per line. I like that a lot. Always good to have more porting. Makes the gun just feel a little bit better, handle a little bit better. Definitely a fan of the new porting. The clamping feed neck between the two, very similar. Can't really say there's too much of a difference. The only thing they changed really is the little nut on this side. It's a little bit more robust on this side. Again, going with the whole aggressive theme, they made it a little bit bigger, a little bit, you know, more noticeable. I like it. I mean, I had no preference for it before. On the 9, it didn't bother me that it was small. And now that it's big, doesn't really make a difference to me. Let's see. The regulator. Regulator has a little bit more milling. It's just a little deeper cuts. Actually, when I'm holding it, I actually like this 11 regulator because of the deeper cuts. My hands get in there a lot nicer. It's the little things that they changed that I really liked, and that's one of the little ones that I really liked. Obviously, a huge change they made was their whole ASA, on-off ASA system. On the 11, you can see you got the little turn, you know, traditional ASA screw the front barrel, and it, you know, goes into your tank and airs up the gun. This one, they have that new Oops ASA, and I was a little skeptical to it at the beginning because I always did love the old, you know, screw-on method. But the Oops is actually super effortless. I like it a lot because one of the biggest thing I used to really dislike is when I would play a game, I'd be playing all day, I'd get shot in the hand, I'd have paint all over me, you know, you're rubbing up against bunkers, your hand on the ground while you're crawling through snake, you got paint all over your hands, and you go to unscrew this little cap, and you know, your hands are slippery, you're sitting there, you're slipping off the cap, and it's just those little things. It never really bothered me that much, but it was just one of those little things. But with this new on-off, it's actually super easy. Doesn't matter if your hands are dirty, doesn't matter if they're slippery, it's just as easy as pulling back on that, there you go, you're aired up, and then there's that little silver button on this side. Once the gun's aired up and you push this button, it springs forward due to the air pressure that's going through the gun. But it's effortless, really. That's the best way I could describe it. It's just completely effortless. And it's just a really nice new system. I liked it a lot. I was a little skeptical, as I said, but now having the 11 for a little while, I'm playing with it, and at the end of the games, being able to just push that button, de-air my gun, it's fantastic. I like it a lot. Also, one of the big things they did that I like a lot is they took the macro line, the fittings on the 11 and their older ones. You know, they come out the sides. Mine happens to be on the left because I'm a righty, and they put it in the middle. It's not coming out. It's not protruding out of either side, which is fantastic because even though I am a righty, I find myself, because I'm actually not too bad shooting lefty, I find myself shooting lefty a lot. And on the old one, this would dig into your wrist, especially if you're in snake and you're going down. You're putting a little pressure on it. It's digging into your hand and into your wrist. Now it's streamlined. It feels exactly the same lefty to righty. So I can imagine that lefties are very happy that that's gone. It's all streamlined now, so it feels exactly the same. You don't have to get your wrist in a weird position for any reason. And all in all, I really like that change. That was the biggest thing to me. Everything else was nice, a little, more aggressive look and all that. That was all very nice, but once they moved that, I like that a lot because I shoot lefty a ton. Because, a lot of people are righties and not comfortable shooting lefty, so I'll take back left, corner snake. And it just made shooting lefty a ton easier. So I got a clip of, the gun shooting, the 11. I think I put a pod through it, or a hopper through it at a 12.3, so I'm going to cut to that, and then I'll come back in and say my last few things about it.